Yay. Hi, guys. It's Monday night. You are on with Stephanie and Joel Dunn. So, some new faces. I never know who's on and who's going to catch the replay, but welcome, newbies. If this is your first Zoom, it certainly won't be your last. We want you to stick with us. So, we get excited. And over the last couple weeks, some things have happened in our life that have been a little crazy. So, I appreciate all the prayers and just being patient with us as we kind of figure out what we're doing and going through. But we're excited. You guys get me excited to do what I do. And just another reason of why this business is such a blessing for us, seeing the time that we've had together, not missing work, being able to do our work in doctor's appointments and that kind of stuff. So that's pretty cool. Just, God is pretty awesome how he shows up all of the time for us to remind us of some things. So for those of you that don't know, we've been in for 10 years. We got started really because we were broke. We were going through a really hard time, bankruptcy, life was tough, and I just wanted, I wanted like $1,000, maybe 500. I didn't know anybody that ever made money in one of those things in a pyramid scheme, right? That's what people think we do. And so I was one of those people that I'm like, I don't know anybody that has made any money with it. So super skeptical, but we saw a friend that had amazing results. And that's something that I still go back to. If you're new, or if you're like, where do I start? Get results. That is how I got started. She got results, and I asked her, what are you doing? She didn't have social media, guys. I didn't have social media 10 years ago. So that was my first question.
We had MySpace.
And music. And so when she said, oh, this rap thing, I was like, you're crazy. But I want it. I want to try it. So, even though we didn't have money, I was still wanting it for me, which was interesting because I think about priorities, and that shouldn't have been a priority in our life. But at that time I was like, it really was. I had nothing else to lose. So she talked about the product, about what the body applicator did. And, I start calling it more now body contouring applicator instead of the wrap. People hear that and they're like, what's the body contour that you're talking about? So, kind of as we're going through, write some of these things down that kind of pique your attention, because that was 10 years ago I was talking about it. Now, we can bring it back because there's 10-year-olds when they were 10, they're now 20. So it's crazy. But so they did that. I said, well, where do I get it? Because she did my hair. And she said, well, it's a pyramid scheme. And I was like, what? No.
Like, we're going to be so rich.
Yep. So Joel's like, okay, we have to do this. And really it was one of those things, guys, I was going to get the product anyway. So I wanted a discount. And so I thought, why not? And here's some tips that I always go back to when we started is, what were my fears? I didn't want to auto ship. I didn't want to get stuck into anything. And I love that we can talk about that. So I let new distributors know, hey, the worst case is you get the product and you can stop, but you still get wholesale pricing. So that's the best part about being a distributor. We don't have huge sales quotas. We don't have any of that. We don't have seasons of product that come out where we have to buy it all and stock it ourselves. We actually get to have drop ship from warehouses to them. So we don't have to even do that. So, those are some things right off the bat. Start thinking about that. What were your fears, and knowing how to overcome those, because they're going to come up for you guys too. So making sure that you know that. Kind of this Zoom, I've been asking people, really, what do you guys want in Zoom? So this is kind of a Q&A one until next week when I get a little bit better format. But this week, I just really wanted to answer some of those questions. And so that just made me think about our story a little bit, of how we got in, where we came from, and why are we still doing this? How are we still doing that? So,
I love her headline that she has up here. Top questions, real, raw, uncut thoughts.
No, tonight. You can't read my writing.
No, I can't read writing.
You guys want me to be real, raw, uncut, right? That was kind of my You guys better say, I got to see like a bunch of yeses in the comments for you guys to be like, give me really, how do you talk to people? There's got to be something, right, that I do that just works. So, okay, I'm seeing lots of yeses. So I like the feedback. It helps me, guys. It keeps my smile on. So, so our story was that I shared a little bit last night on another Zoom. One of the things I wish I would have shared early on was our struggle. I think people so relate to struggles. Like, as much as I don't want to be going through what I'm going through, I'm going to help somebody. It's all I know is there's going to be somebody that reaches out to me. I'm going to be able to give them advice. And so I've learned with patience and grace through everything I've been through, there's going to be something good from it. It's how I allow my thoughts to be now. That wasn't always me though, was it?
No. And see, the thing of it is God never wastes an opportunity. So he's obviously having you go through struggles so that you can get stronger, so that when you're on the other side, you have the ability to help somebody through. Now, the amazing thing about what we do is we can turn our struggles into our story, into our strengths, into profit. Because guess what? We can help people by helping them make money by sharing their story. Mm-hmm. This is a really interesting piece of what we have as a business, because most other places, if you share your story, you're just sharing your testimony, you're sharing your story. Here, we have a way to develop that story into a stream of income.
Mm-hmm. And results. You know, I think that's the main thing too, is we get healthy along the way. So people are always asking, where do I start? What should I do as a brand new distributor? You know, write down, why are you doing this? You're going to start building your story now. And for those of you that are like feeling stuck, like I don't have anything more to do, or you've been in 3 or 4 years, you know, start the story of where you're going, speaking that vision, speaking that where you're headed to and what you're excited about doing and who's coming with you. And a great book to get is Building Your Story Brand. That is such a good book, or audio, you know, for those of you that work, make sure that you are utilizing your time wisely. So if you can pop it in, listen to it at work, while in the shower, while getting ready, you're going to find times that you can actually read this and start developing that story. So, you know, for me, I think, God, we didn't have the money to get started, but I'm so thankful what a couple extra $100 could do, because it still reminds me, I could go to Target now and I don't have to look at price tags, and I can buy anything that I want in there. So sometimes it's just start small. And maybe I sold some wrap cash this week and it filled up my car for the week. So there's so many things that I'm still so grateful for, and we need to hit on all marks. So whether it's $100 that you're grateful for, whether it's that money to, you know, take you out of your job and do this full time, get your kids out of daycare, you know, what are some of those things that you want and that you're going to work towards? So there's lots to be doing with your story, and you'll get a good idea after reading that book. Staying motivated. I think that's one of our top questions. Actually, Cammie even said that on our leadership Zoom today is, I wish I could motivate you all. I cannot. I can inspire and lead and show you things. And for me, one of the things with motivation is discipline. That's always something that I've had is, you know, with a diet, with foods, whatever, you have to be disciplined. Right now, I have to really be disciplined with the foods that I'm eating, and it's hard, right? The word discipline is just a tough word that sometimes we don't want to hear. But if you want to reach Ruby, if you want 5 distributors the second half of October, practice discipline. You know, whether that's you going, I'm going to get up 30 minutes early and I'm going to do my Ask for the Host to post. I'm going to do these scripts that Stefani gives us here in 15, 20 minutes. And I'm going to do these every day, regardless if the seeds are been planted, if they come to fruition the next day. You have to make sure that you're disciplined every day to do it. Do your coffee, showing that every morning. Getting results. You know, these are the things that I know that the people that are successful right now are the ones that have gotten results and are using the products and sharing that and being loud about it. So that's what we really want want to make sure that you're doing is discipline. Do you have anything on that? I know you.
I just have this quote. This is a quote that I wanted to post today, and I'll probably not post it tomorrow because now all of you guys are going to hear it here. So it'd be really weird if you see it again tomorrow. But Craig Rochelle said, if you commit to the what, so if you commit to the work and you're consumed with your why, so you've got a goal, your why is the underlying thing of why you're doing it, then you will figure out the how. Mm-hmm. You know, people come to us all the time like, well, how do you do it? How do you do it? How do you do it? Guess what? Our what is what we committed to, which was promoting. And then our why was because we didn't want to stand in food lines anymore. Mm-hmm. And that was so strong. It didn't matter what we had to do. We went and figured it out. So when you get to a point where you can honestly go out crazy and do everything possible just to figure it out, to see what works, you will become successful. When you want success as much as you want air, nothing can stop you.
Yeah. So I love that because commitment, discipline all come together. So it's easy when you know now. So you want to be disciplined. You write that down on your calendar. And you guys, I always have it with me. I have notes with me constantly. And as follow-ups, did I follow up with that person? What did I do? So find the organization that you want, but you have to be, again, disciplined enough to do it and to follow up. And so, you know, some of these things that we're going to do, we can give you all the information, all the scripts in the world, but are you going to do it? Are you going to go out and are you going to ask people? You know, those are the things that, if you really want this, which let me see you say, I want this. Like, I want to see, I'll see your names if you say, I want this. I'm ready. Because I'll give you some really good things, but only to the ones that want this. Like, it's not just going to give it to give it. So, all right, you guys do want this. So we're not just social media. Okay. So what we do a lot on the Zooms is give you scripts, because I hear that all the time. I appreciate your scripts. You know, I want to see that word for word, and I understand that that's what you guys want. So we'll always do that, but also practice this outside of social media, gathering new leads, building that network. Have you guys asked for a party? Have you asked for a try it? You know, what if it's just one person that shows up? That one person could lead you to 20 people. And so you have to not get it into your head and play a comparison game or think one person doesn't matter. Would any of you like me on your team? That one person wasn't even going to tell us about it. I was the one that asked her, what is she doing? So you can't let that bother you. I want you to make sure to get that out of your head, because we think so much of what are people going to think? Oh man, I'm only going to have one person, you know, they're going to think that I didn't do a good job. We start getting that all in our head when you could change that one person's life that changes thousands. We just don't know. So, you know, be bold enough to go, you know what, I want to ask and I want to do some in-home parties. And it's going to take a minute for you guys to get some yeses. It's not going to just happen overnight. Some it will, some it won't. I want that expectation of you got to get the ball rolling. And so I met with Debbie and Tammy just a couple nights ago, and we were talking about, you know, in-home events, going to boutiques. Everything is coming into Christmas time right now. There's so many vendor events. There's so many opportunities for you guys to get out in front of people. So make sure you're doing it all, not just social. I think that's where we think, oh, I'm spending time on social media, but that doesn't always, it's not always there. I build a lot. I still do offline. And so you can make up little, you know, sample packs. I always have my sample packs. Joel's like, what is this one in this cupboard? I was like, I'm making more. Just leave me alone. So, you know, especially the holidays with all of our coffee, people love that. So you could pick a strip mall, you know, maybe you drive by one that has a Hallmark store, a Chinese restaurant, a nail, you guys know that, you probably do, nail place, pet store, bedding, whatever, boutiques. Go in there and just say, hey, I was in the area. I had to drop off a sample pack to one of my friends. I didn't want to miss anybody, and I have a couple left. Would you be interested in one of these sample packs? It's only $20, and you're going to get to try the hottest product on the market, which is our skinny mocha keto coffee. It opens the door for conversation. And so, in that bag, you can have it how it's mixed, give them direction. But I used to do this with just wraps too, go into places. I was like door knocking because that was me asking. And so it's kind of the same thing. So if you're walking into a business, it's offering them, a sample, or, hey, could I ask you a favor? Whatever you want, that's just like asking on Instagram or Facebook, and it's just going to open up the door. So I like that when I'm just letting them know, hey, I have this. I'm not soliciting or anything. I'm just letting them know, hey, I've just got these. I dropped some off down the road to a friend and didn't want to leave anyone out. So you guys should all be doing that.
And your sample bags can be mixed with anything that you want. It can be 1 or 2 products. It can be 3 products. It can be your favorite pack, so be creative with it.
I have a couple different ones always with me in my bag because sometimes I have a wrap in there. This one just has a wrap, keto coffee, 2 keto coffee and 2 keto energy. So, whatever you want to do, make some up. But keto coffee is generally the ones that I sell the most, and collagen. So, if you're going into places, most people drink coffee, right? And so up north, especially right now, it's getting colder. So people would be like, oh yeah, I'd rather switch and do that. So making sure that you do that. If you have a try it that's coming up, why not go in there and invite them? Hey, I had to go and get give an invitation to one of my friends that works right down the street. She thought I should come in here because she comes into the strip mall all the time to invite you guys to a try it to test out some of our product. So there's, multiple ways to do that. Or if you're local and you want to invite them into an online event, make sure that you're doing something like that. I don't know if people have questions. Hold on. Yeah. So make sure, you can do what you want to get the most bang for your buck. You can do the 3 keto coffee bags and get the 1 free, or use your rewards and get the keto coffee, the energy, or the wraps. So those are usually what I have in there. So it's the wraps, keto coffee, energy, and I actually have a couple chocolate greens. I didn't usually do that. But it's all from rewards. So I make so much cash from just selling that. So now you have your cash, especially for Christmas, you guys, right? Do you have product at home? Do you want to, some of you use it, but if you have extra, go out and get cash. What's stopping you? I see Jessica Delgado on here. Well, she was Delgado. Now I think it's Krupa. I'm not sure how to say it, but she was like the blitzing queen. And some of you may not even know what that is, but just going out, handing out coupons, being excited, having a smile on your face, and just knowing you're offering it to them with no expectation, right? So that's something to do. So just make sure you guys are doing that. I would do your business card with it. You can go on Vistaprint and make one. It doesn't need to be black and green. I see Lauren Ravan on here. And so hers would be girly. Totally girly, whites, bright color, light bright colors, to her personality. So what's your personality? What are your eyes drawn to? And make that your business card and put it in there and do that. So which leads me to another thing that I love to do is handing that business card out to get people and say, hey, I'm actually adding some brand ambassadors. Like I'll go through the mall and you just look like the perfect fit for what I do. I don't want to take away from you working right now. I'm sure you don't want to work retail all the time, but I might have another option for you. That's how somebody got me to work for Lancome. And then I ended up being the top sales recruiter for 5 different states. So we would do it by just doing our business card, looking for people that we thought they were smiling on their faces. And you guys can walk around and you see waitresses, you see people that you want, right? So you have to be prepared. So if you don't have a business card, take the time to go get one. Even if it's $100 or $50 to start, you don't need to spend a lot of money, but you have to be prepared. You're a business owner, right? So let's get you those doors open and all of the ways to make all of the monies, because it's out there. For the coffee, guys, for the information, just type it out and you can just put it on, same thing. You could use Vistaprint if you want, or just print it out, write it out on a little card and just let them know, how you would mix the coffee. Just let them know that. And if they have questions, you're going to follow up with them anyway to make sure that they like it and suggestions. So make sure that you're getting their number, getting them on Facebook and Instagram to be able to follow up. That's expanding your network. And you can go into places too and say, hey, I'm a brand ambassador for an online company. I'm actually looking for people to make extra money. Do you know anybody that's interested in maybe making some extra money, a friend, or maybe it's possibly you? That's another way to get your network going. They may go ahead and do that. So see how you can take online, offline with you. It's the same kind of wording and things. It's just you're actually talking to them like in person. And the reason I love that is because I can read their body language. I can see if they're excited, if they're like this. Okay, they might not be open, if you guys can see that. But if they're smiling and they're shaking their head, they're inviting you in. So be aware of what their body language is and what's your body language. I'm always excited because I've seen what the products do for me. I can show them my before and after. I know that I can make money from this, from cash, because they're going to see me selling that stuff. They can see me. I can tell them about weekly, if they want a weekly check, and that monthly check. So, that's just something I really think was important.
I think one of the great things that she said that I don't know if you guys caught is she did an indirect ask. So for some of you that are nervous to specifically ask people, do the indirect ask. Do you know anybody that's looking to make an extra $300 to $500 a month? Well, they're going to go, well, yeah, duh, me. That way you're not going, hey, do you want to make an extra $300 to $500? So when you're out talking to people, talk to them in generalities. Ask them about their friends and do they know anybody that would want to make this? Because normally when you're asking them, do they know anybody? They're thinking about themselves first and then they think about somebody else.
Yeah. And, maybe pair up or ask in the team pages that you're in if anybody's near your city, because this is sometimes fun. Swap business cards, go in two different directions, and then you guys are together, but you're handing each other's business card out and you're saying, hey, my friend Allie is actually looking for somebody to make some extra money. Do you know anybody? Here's her card. I could get it for you. So you're giving it out. Joel used to do that for me all the time. I would make him do that. I'm like, go. I see Jennifer on here with maybe husband. I see another beard is what I see. So you're going to be going to work, right? So I see team Holdridge. Is that, I can't, Holdridge. I'm like, I don't have my glasses on. Yeah, my glasses on here. But there's so many fun and easy ways that we could be doing it and including that. So hopefully that gave you guys a few tips there. I'm going to have Joel, before I forget, to actually post, because you guys are going to want them, this kind of the host to post scripts, because they're still working, but we want distributors as well. And those are the ones that are working the best right now. For people. It's not getting flagged. It's just writing it out. And I have a few different ones. One I actually have, I think. I'm
going to host only mode.
Okay. I'm just trying to read them. A couple of them I have in there is like the fortune is in the follow-up. So people that have been in a little bit, or even if you're new and you've kind of put that out and you've asked in your messages to make sure, this is a question I get is, how often do I follow up? Don't think that they're ignoring you. I think that's what we think, that we don't want to bother them. And really we have life, right? Like I have people that message me all the time that want to send me clothes to like put on Instagram or whatever. And I don't sometimes respond to them, and they'll follow up with me again. Hey, could I send you something that we could work together with? So they're doing it to me too. And it's just because we're busy, right? We're life. Maybe we've gotten sick, or maybe the kids, had games and they just forgot to message you back. So you have to be on top of the follow-up game. And so I put one in there actually for TFX for you guys, for BOGO. Something I would do, I would go into your search bar in Facebook, in your messages, type TFX or ThermoFightX if that's what you wrote. It'll bring up everybody that you've ever messaged about that. So some may have been, what, is that going through?
No. So for those of you that have your screen on and I can see your faces, can you see everything in the chat that I just posted? Thumbs up. Okay, awesome. Because normally what happens is when we've got the chat up, it gets pushed down because everybody's trying to comment. So I turn that off for a second so everybody's got a chance to copy and save that.
So for the BOGO, for the ThermoFightX, go in there. If you've ever done that, that's going to help you guys gather some more customers. Same thing for distributors, guys. I type in promo, info, opportunity. What are keywords that you're going to always message people so that you can search those keywords and re-follow up with them? Even if you didn't follow up with them since January. Hey, life's probably got crazy for you. I don't want you to miss this year coming. We know this is our biggest time of the year. I have a code. It's $49. I'd love to get you in. You're going to get awesome results before the new year. People are going to ask you what you want. So you're going to be ahead of that wave. Are you ready to get started with me? So that right now is something you guys need to understand. This is go time. This is the best time of the year to get in. You use those codes. I want $99. It doesn't matter. This is seriously the best time because I've been in long enough to know what happens. And there's a few people on here that know what's happening. And Allie, I'm going to have you jump on because you've been recruiting some distributors. And so I just we talked a little bit on the phone, and I wanted you to kind of share what you're doing and how you're getting customer or distributors.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah. Woo-hoo. So tell everybody who you are and what rank you are, just so they get an idea.
Okay, I'm Allie. I'm a double diamond. I've been in the business for a little over a year now. So in the beginning, I was always like, all right, steps to success. I need to get all the customers I can ever possibly get. And then Stefani turned me around to think that distributors is where it's at. And if you can teach your team and the people you sign up to enroll those distributors and those customers, it will just slowly, it will progress. And so as far as what I do, I just keep it simple. And I know we say that so many times, but it's like, you don't overthink it. You just know what you have to do. And that's posting, that's talking to people, and that's following up. If you're not, I'm not saying that, like me personally, I don't post every single day, but you best believe that I am messaging people all day long. Just because you may not see me posting, I'm in my stories all the time. I'm messaging people who are in my stories, and people that I go through for interaction, I message them. I am not, I don't wait for people to come to me. I go to them. And I know some people have a different opinion on that, but I just think, why wait when you're wasting that time when you can be just enrolling these people like that?
Mm-hmm. When you're doing this, Allie, you made it sound so just simple, when you're messaging them. That was the thing, is you're searching them, right? And you're not like, oh gosh, I messaged them back in February, I probably shouldn't message them. She's messaging them. She's not thinking about it. She's just letting them know about, she's got a code, what she's doing. She's not overcomplicating it and giving all of the information. I think we want to give all the information before they even jump. If somebody would have said, you have to do Zooms, you have to do all, I would have been like, no way. This is just too much for me. I just wanted product and to get skinny and maybe make money. So, we want them to want to be a leader right off the bat, but that's not always the case. So we just gently get them in and get them excited, right? You're going to want the product. It's $49. Think how you would want to be talked to. Worst case, they could stop. Now, that doesn't mean that I want them to stop. My goal is I really want to help them get off and get those customers and get posting and have some wins so that they see the importance of using the product, how they can start posting, and they'll start to get the confidence. So, this is something that's important too, Allie, is you're constantly adding new people into your friends list, right?
Yeah. So for a while there, I was just building up to I should say this, I mostly work my business on Facebook, and I've been working on Instagram. But I was building my friends list up to 5,000. Well, then obviously you have to start going through people. And so as far as filtering those people out, you go through every single thing. You go through, and not just yelling at them, but you ask them are you wanting to make an extra $500 a month? No? Okay. Well, then host a post for me. If they're not wanting to do that, then honestly, they don't buy. Like, I will unfriend you and I will go add their friends because I'm not wasting my time on you. And because people are going to say no, but I'm telling you, like, there's people that I will blow up 15 times and they'll, like, some people come back and be like, I told you no. And I'm like, no, you didn't. You just didn't answer. And that is how I look at it. You don't stop following up with people until they say, stop, like, block, like, leave me alone. Or, you know, you just have to keep going at it and you're not bothering them. And like Stephanie said, like earlier, people have things going on. I mean, sometimes I look at messages and I'm like, oh my gosh, this was like 5 hours ago. I forgot to message back. You have to go back, and here's what I usually say. And it sounds like I don't know how to word it, but I basically just say, like, did I catch you at a bad time? And then normally they come back and they're like, oh no, like I was just with the kids, or I was like this, or I was that. And I mean, I wasn't like hounding them or anything. I just asked them, like, did I catch you at a bad time? And they're like, oh no, I was busy, but now it's a better time. Let's get you signed up.
There you go. So don't be afraid to delete people, but to add people. And so we gave you a bunch of host to post ideas. Like, you know, people are going to want to make some extra money, guys. Christmas is right around the corner. Hearing that we're coming into a new decade in like 80 days just blows my mind. It's so crazy. So I love Mark's been talking about 2020, and that's perfect vision. So I'm excited about that. Just, it's an exciting time. So, you know, making sure that, you know, when you're asking them to do the host to post, that opens the door to add new friends. So even if you do not get a customer from that, you may have added 10 new friends that you can go and ask them to do a host to post for. So don't get discouraged by not getting something right at that moment. You're still growing that network. So I think with me, I don't ever take anything like a bad thing. I just know what I need to do. And so that's how sometimes I'm like, okay, maybe I need to word it up. I do track things like Instagram, Facebook, where's it from? Stories. And that's where I've been getting so many from. And it's, and Instagram, you do this. It's where are they doing right now? Stories and IGTV.
Yeah. So basically, what we've noticed is we're getting stuff in from like food companies, because I post a lot about food because apparently I eat a lot. So I had this company reach out to me about trying their ice cream. I was like, yeah, I'll try your ice cream. That sounds amazing. All I have to do is take a picture of the ice cream and put it in my story. They didn't say put it on my wall. They said put it in my story. So that shows you how important stories are for marketing products. Mm-hmm. If I have other companies reaching out to me going, will you share this in your story? Not, hey, can you post this on Facebook? But Facebook has stories too. So make sure that you're doing both. Mm-hmm. A good thing to do is a combination of all of it to find out what works for you.
Yeah. And if you do a post, you know, on your board on Instagram, make sure you put it up in your story, new post, so that they bring it down and they read that a little bit more. And I'm just getting in the habit of doing that a little bit more, just because stories have worked so well for me, and I can post VIP. Now, you guys can go onto my Instagram because it is public, and just see how I talk about things, and then I'll drop the business. Mine are mostly business posts because I'm DT driven. That's what I know I feel like everybody should be. So even in my product, I'll flip them to a distributor. So go and just watch that. Watch top brands. A brand that I love to watch is Glossier. My daughter is in market research, and so she shares companies with me to kind of follow. And if you haven't done the Beauty Works, take your picture with no makeup.
Guys, Beauty Works is off the charts.
So a lot of these companies, so Glossier is a natural company, kind of came out of nowhere, but in their stories, it's real people showing pictures of themselves with no makeup or how to put it on. And it's not like supermodels, it's regular people. And so that's what we need to do is we can be pretty, but we can also show, hey, this is us and I'm confident in our skin. So making sure, what brands do you like? Have you watched their stories? remember, they're doing this for a reason. IGTV, you know, are you doing some of those things? And it can be scary at first, but you got to start somewhere and get those on. So stories, polls to get that, and you can see who's watching you, and a few, and being consistent with it. I sometimes have to stop my story because I can do a poll and have 150 people click on my poll or more that I want to follow up with for samples or whatever I did. So making sure that you do that. And we've talked about that quite a bit on different Zooms, but make sure that you're doing that. Allie, did you have anything else on distributors, or, you know, what's...
I did want to touch on how like stories are important, but I also want to say that even with posting on Facebook or Instagram, if you feel like you are not getting the interaction that you want, it's probably because you're not filtering through your friends. If you have 5,000 friends and you aren't adding and deleting new people and you're posting the same thing over and over and over again, you're not getting anywhere. And so my recommendation for you, and this is what I've been doing, is because I've noticed that my Instagram and Facebook have been like a little on the quiet side. So what I do is I just make a status. Like today I made chili and I was like, noodles or no noodles. And people are like commenting like crazy because, I mean, I don't care if you have noodles or not, like, but I'm saying like my point is that's getting people to comment on my stuff so that they're going to see my post tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And I do the same on Instagram. I do a poll, I ask a question. People want to give me their opinion. They may think I care, but I really don't, but it's getting me interaction. Mm-hmm. And so when you feel like you don't have as many people watching you, you just have to go out and find them and just add in little things here and there for, you know, the bits and pieces of interaction like that.
That's amazing, guys. What she just basically said was, if your interaction isn't high, go and ask people for their opinions, because guess what? They want to give you their opinion.
Mm-hmm. And making sure that you're commenting too, so that it's reciprocating. Mm-hmm. And if you do a post like, hey, I'm looking for someone, you know, to earn extra money or whatever that post is that you put up, and you need some interaction, go to your team page and say, hey, would a few of you go on and comment me on my post? I'll return the favor to you. So what that does is that the people that aren't part of the business yet are like, wow, she's got 4 or 5 people that are like messaging me. Maybe I should comment on this post too. So it's kind of like a domino effect. So don't be afraid to ask the team page for help. We're here to help you guys. So it takes a quick second to go look at your Facebook account to give you a me or an emoji on that post. But just remember to reciprocate the thing when other people do it, and then we're helping each other out. So that's some tips on that. So sealing the deal, you guys, it comes down to confidence and belief. And a couple ways that I know that you can build your belief and your confidence is, are you using the product? And I'm not here to sell you guys a bunch of product. I just know that in business, when you believe in something and you can show them that you're using, that you're passionate about it, they're going to get it from you. So when I'm talking about a product, coffee, I have my before and after with 4 different products that I can show them. These are my before and after pictures, and I love them. And, you know, I'm so grateful for them. I have a wrap result picture. So, you know, I have that. So you're going to evolve all the time. And so getting multiples of those is good. So I would say get some product that you just love, that you know that people will want, and commit, be disciplined to use it, and watch your results with that. I did not want to go naked on the Beauty Works. I was like, I don't want to do this, you know, but I was like, I have to, because that's what people want. They want to see that real, raw, unfiltered person and how they can come along. So make sure that you guys are doing that. And then, you know, believing in the business. Do you believe that you can earn from this? And whether that's cash, you know, with the business, has it helped you build confidence? Have you become a better person? You know, are you becoming a leader because of this business? Like, what has that done for you? So I know for $49, for $99, for $199, why wouldn't you want to try? I think that's the thing is, Again, it's overcoming those objections of, maybe it's a money issue for them. I'm always saying, well, if you get paid on a certain date, that's not a problem. I can get that processed on the date that you like. Let's just get your kit ready. They don't know that it's not getting shipped. So write them down. Have them do a host-to-post for you to see if they can get some activity going from that. So making sure that we're giving them all options to kind of help them clear out any objections with that. If money wasn't an option, would you do this? Ask them that question. If it is, delete them as friends. They're not going to come on board anyway. Like Allie said, if they say no to that, then off to the next.
The follow-up to that is when they're giving you an objection, this is how you boil it down to the lowest common denominator. Every time they give you an objection, reply back to them with that objection and say, but if that wasn't an issue, would you? Mm-hmm. I don't have money. Well, if you had the money, would you? I don't have time. Well, if you had the time, would you? I don't like to talk to people, but if you did like to talk to people, would you? You're going through until they finally go, I just don't want to do it. And you're going, great. Well, we could have stopped this like 10 minutes ago if you would have just told me that.
Yeah, that's so funny. And, I always try to get them to do a post or do something for me if they say no, because most people will do that. Most of them do. So casting a vision, we get that a lot. Like, how do you cast a vision? Where do you know, especially if you're new, like, where am I going? What am I doing? And so this is kind of a, more of a, I don't want to say a leader question, but I knew at the beginning, I didn't have a big vision. That wasn't something I thought. Joel, yes, he was like, we're in this, we're going to make a lot. And I just wanted to get skinny. My vision was about me feeling good. Now, how did that expand? The best thing that I could have ever done is go to conference. I saw that and I was like, you guys, I was like the Grinch. I've told the story before. I went in, I was like little heart, like green, bleh, bleh. They're just going to be a bunch of ooh rah rah people and they're going to be crazy. I don't know. I just didn't want to go. I was mean, huh? Mm-hmm. I was like, we're not going to this. We're not wasting our money to this. I just want to get skinny and make a couple extra $100. Like, so that was real raw. It's probably actually a little bit worse than that. But what it did, he got me there. That is why I push you guys so hard to go, because you see they're real people. And I think, for me, we'd been in other things. And the people that were at the top were untouchable. They acted too good. They wouldn't talk to you. They flew in on a jet and flew out. And I just was like, I didn't see them as real. And so that's why I tried my best to be as kind and open to people when I'm around them, because when I went to the conference and saw that they were real people making crazy money, and, crazy money to newbie could be $500. We don't know what that crazy money is to somebody, but it gave me like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. And I went out of there with people being excited. They wanted to back me. They were encouraging me. I didn't have that any other job. It was always a competition. Even doing hair, massage, we were always in competition. And so with this, where people were encouraging me, I was just like, this is amazing. So making sure that you guys are getting around the right people. If you're slowly backing down from Zooms, calls, events, you're losing that fire. And how do you reignite anything is by going and being around events. We can do so much with Zooms, but human interaction is so crucial. I just really believe that if you make a connection with somebody, like, we're going to be in this for a long time and work through things. So make sure, if you guys haven't, to figure out conference, because that's a big, big deal. We have enough time to kind of go through that. And that's where my vision became much bigger. And how many more people can I bring in, and how many people can I help to make money? And now my goal is, okay, leaders, how many people from your team do you want to bring? Like, the lives just keep changing. So that was my bigger vision, and it keeps growing each year. But knowing right now, the season that we're in, for those of you that have been in, January goes crazy, right? You know this. So are you preparing now to be ahead of it? And, sometimes we go like crazy and then summer happens and we are like, oh my gosh, our check's not where we want it to be because summer happened. For a lot of us, we don't realize the subconscious of how we could look back and see our activity and it slowed way down or whatever it is. You didn't do the things that you were doing at the beginning of the year. And so you want to be consistent through. So decide right now that you're going to be disciplined, committed, and watch what your check starts to do. And so that you can start changing that now and be the one that keeps going up. Did you have anything on vision? You've always been a good. Got that. And then knowing your why, I think, when you're doing this, why did you get into this? Me and Joel got into this. Well, I got into this for $1,000. And so I've never lost that piece of why I do every day what I do, because if I stopped doing this, I would have to go get a job, right? So I have to bring in income somehow. So this is my career. I have to show up to make money every day. And so what is that number for you? I want $1,000 a month. So for me, I go back to, I want to help distributors every month, help them gather those customers so that I make $1,000 with fast starts. And that builds new blood, which keeps you excited. That helps with motivation. I'm not that right there can be like, I've got new people. They're asking me questions. How can I keep that going? So new is good, and including them in with people that have been around to see and understand the seasons of the business. So it's such a good thing to mesh them together. And
guys, a really good goal for you getting off of here, and I've said this quite a few times before, is figure out what bill you have this month that you want to pay through Fast Starts. Figure out what that is. Steph's number was $1,000 a month, so she knew she needed to sign up 10 distributors and help them get their customers. So figure out what that bill is for you. Is it your car note? Do you need to come up with $300? Is it a student loan bill? Does that mean you have to come up with $150,000? Student loans are insane, people. Mm-hmm. But make sure you're taking the time to associate that Fast Start to a debt and pay it with that. And that will constantly keep you going in that direction. And then it becomes a habit. And once it becomes a habit, you become unstoppable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, guys, really, I gave you, I feel like, a ton of information.
This was a thick 45 minutes.
I know that was kind of long, but we haven't been on for a couple weeks. So I hope you guys gathered enough information. You've got your host to post. What should we be doing this week? We'll bring it back. And, do you have your codes? How many more distributors do you want? Are you asking them? Are you building that network to get into people? And I think if you have to rewatch the beginning of those ideas of where to go ask people, y'all should be out on your feet now doing that and asking for the host to post too. And how many customers are we going to get with BOGO? And don't just offer the BOGO. That opens the door to show triple threat. Hey, I know you're going to want the BOGO with the ThermoFight. It's the weight loss, product that has clinical studies of 31 pounds and average 31 pound weight loss in 90 days. This is what I did. And so I always show them mine, which is keto coffee, cleanse, chocolate greens, and the ThermoFight. And I lost 13 pounds in 21 days. And I was blown away. So don't be afraid before you put that order in with a BOGO to show some others. Like, before I put this in, did you want to really go for it? Because we have a couple other products that are really boosted even faster. So those are some ways to boost that volume, kind of help with month-end goals, and really get you guys going. But this is the time to be excited of why do we get started now? These are my high months for enrollments because I know what's coming. You're crazy not to get in now. We know what's coming, guys. So you have to be excited. If you want excitement, be the excitement. You're going to attract everybody to you. Smile. Everybody's just messaging me you're so inspiring for knowing what you're going through. And I'm like, I have a story and I'm going to be so proud to share it. And I get to do this from anywhere I want and to help so many people. So I'm grateful for every day, and that's just what I want to do. I don't want to regret not asking somebody and changing somebody's life. So I just love you guys. I appreciate all of you. I want to see excitement. I want to see the fire under you guys. That's like, oh, I got a thermal fight after this or whatever it is. But don't be afraid to make sure that you're doing all these little tricks that we just shared. Joel's over here like ready to take a photo.
I'm ready to get everybody's smiles.
Yeah, so make sure you're smiling.
Here it comes. Page 1. See, because look at everybody's turned on their videos now because they know the photo's coming.
I see Erica and the baby. Oh, so cute.
We went from having 1 page of people with videos on to 5.
Yep, that's what happened.
Love it.
So good.
All right.
You guys are they're like, did we get in the sure, did we get in? But tonight's Monday night call with Pam, you guys, I know I need to get off here like soon because Pam's call is going to be awesome with Alyssa, Mira, and who else is on there? I don't know. Let me make sure. Speaking of that, Pam just texted me, so let's see what she wants. She's probably telling me secrets, guys. Like maybe. Who's on? Carla, that's right. So make sure you guys get on that. I know they're all 3 different personalities and they're just going to bring so much more helpful information. Don't hold the information, you guys. I know some of it's uncomfortable, but get out and do something with it. And I'm excited to see you get the results from that. Grand Rapids, I hope that I get to see some of your faces tomorrow night at the Try It right here. Cammie's going to be here. Carla's going to be here. And I know so many top leaders. Erica is a presidential diamond. She's coming from the Detroit side. Her sister, Amy, which I haven't seen her in a while. Nikki, Tiffany Passick. I think Joel Dunn might be there. But anyway, it's going to be an awesome, awesome event. So if you can make it or send people to, if you have distributors, make sure you guys get to an event because we want to touch you and give you a hug. But I love you. We will see you next week, Monday. However, next week, Monday may be a little different time. If you guys can't get on, don't stress. We're going to be in France. I know my life is awful. So it's going to be probably earlier in the day because I want to make sure that we do get you a Zoom out. So if you have to watch the recording, I totally understand that because I'm not going to do it at 4 in the morning. So I love you. Have a good week, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys.